Hey guys, so this is going to be a review of the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 24-hour fresh air foundation. So this foundation is meant to be like proof everything, waterproof, life proof. Basically, that's what this foundation is meant to. That's what they aim it towards. This is in the shade Golden Amber. Now, even though I did swatch this in the store because it had like the other, like the little samples, this is too dark for me. Mainly, I can sort of get away with it. I'll get away with it more in the summer than I will in the winter because it's more of like a warm toned sort of beige colour, where I'm more on the cool tone, which is really weird for someone who's mixed race, but yeah, I'm more on the cool tone. But it did look alright when I swatched it in store, but then when I took it home I was like, this is looking more on the orange side, slightly more on the orange side. So do bear in mind that it's a foundation that you do seriously need to swatch, because looking at it in the bottle, this does not look like it'd be more on the orangey side at all. But anyway, let's get into the review. So this is, so as I said, it claims to be full coverage, and it is a satin finish. So first off, when you first pump it out, it literally smells like paint. It's really weird, but then after a while it stops, and the next day I used it, it didn't really smell of paint, but when you first use it, it has like a strong smell of paint, which is a bit weird. The formula is on the like watery side, but not too watery. It's more watery than a normal foundation, if that makes any sense. For it to be long wear as well, I was a little bit shook because I did expect it to be a little bit thicker, not obviously thick as a mousse because it's not a mousse, but just like a normal sort of formula of a liquid foundation. But this was more on the sort of watery side. Saying that though, you do get full coverage with it, but you do have to put more than one layer on it, and I have some things to say about this. So first time I used this and the first time I applied it, I was like, oh no, is it one of those foundations? What I mean when I say, oh no, is it one of those foundations, is I have another foundation, the Dior Skin Forever foundation, where it looks nice on skin that doesn't have like texture or has any sort of like raised spots or anything like that, but on raised spots and everything like that, it doesn't sit very well. So when I first applied this, I was like, oh god, it's one of those foundations. But after like, I'd say after like 15 minutes, as it started to settle down more, it looked a lot better on those areas. So I was like, oh, thank God for that. So it's not like the Dior one, because the Dior one, it just looks bad. It doesn't settle or anything like that. It just does not look good on textured skin. But this one, after it settles down after 15 minutes, then it's not too bad. Now, with all my foundations, when I get them and I come to review them, I will try them without powder, just because I don't always need to set my foundations. There's a few where I don't need to set them. I have combination to dry skin, so I like to test the foundations to see if, you know, if I can get away with, you know, with not powdering them or not. So first time I wore this was when I was not at work. I've got a test for when I wear it at work. When I wasn't at work, and I applied it at 10 o'clock and no oils came through till 7 p.m, which is amazing. That is a lot of hours. So that is during the day where I'm not at work or anything like that. I did try it on the day I was at work, and the day I was at work, the oils did seep in more earlier than that. It was around like 7 hours in the day where it started to seep through, but it wasn't too bad where I looked like a complete and utter grease ball. It just made my face look a little bit more dewy, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I look like a mess, like I look like a complete grease ball. I didn't feel that the need I had to go and rush and get a powder or a blotting paper just to soak up the oils. It wasn't that bad, so I'll give it props for that. It's really good at keeping the oils at bay, and as I said, both during that time I didn't powder it, or it may be something where if I am at work I might powder it. I did test it really well at work because I was on fries for most of the day, which is like just full of heat and shit like that. So, but it's probably one of these. I'm planning on, I might do a video on doing my top foundations to wear if you work in like fast food and stuff, because you know the heat from the vats and the grills and shit like that, you need a foundation that lasts. So I might do a video on that. But yeah, this isn't that bad. It's just I might powder it if I am at work at all, if I do wear this while I'm at work, should I say. But overall it's not a bad foundation. As I said, it is full coverage. I felt that I did need to build it up. I did build it up to, when I first applied it, up to 3 layers. I won't put any more than that, because I was worried of it getting cakey or anything like that. But it didn't get cakey or anything like that. It didn't cling on to dry patches or anything like that, which technically I didn't expect anyway, because it is only a satin finish foundation. It's not a matte finish, where matte finish foundations tend to cling sometimes, depending on what company. The Clinique Beyond Perfecting one doesn't cling on, but so I didn't really necessarily expect that to happen. But yeah, overall it's a good foundation. I would say it's definitely full coverage. It would probably last a little bit long, 24 hours if I did powder, but it did last very well for me not to powder at all, which is really good, which I didn't expect, to be fair. But yeah, I really like this foundation, so I do recommend it. As I said, if you are buying, just be very careful with the shade ranges, and I wouldn't blind buy it online. I would try and go to a store that does have swatches, because the colours look different to what they are on the actual skin, should I say. So yeah, that is it for this review, so bye guys.